What's up, witches? Blessed be. It's Luna the Zen Witch, and my little dark pie wacket, you can barely see his little eyes, are here with another Samhain video. And today I want to talk about Samhain as the divination time of year. You can watch my video on life in death at Samhain to learn all about the death aspect of the year and why it is we say that the veil is thin at this time of year. Death comes close, which means those on the other side of that veil come close to us too. And so one of the natural activities of Samhain is to reach out to the other side and ask for information, ask for communication, ask for portents, ask for, shape of things to come, all that kind of stuff. One of the types of divination, there's all kinds of divination is appropriate at Samhain. It's a great time for a pendulum. It's a great time for dowsing rods. It's a great time for tarot cards and oracle decks. It's a great time, for cloud scrying and water scrying and fire scrying. But scrying is the main one that I want to talk about today. Scrying is a form of clairvoyance. It is more than just like looking at clouds go across the sky and saying, ooh, that one looks like a rabbit. Scrying is a state of mind. You have to be in a particular brain state in order to do scrying. Now, if when I talked about clouds, and I can't remember the name of it, cloudomancy, but it is looking at shapes in the clouds and taking those images and then interpreting those images. Scrying is a much more direct thing. Scrying requires your brain to be in a deep trance state so that you can access the subconscious. And it is dropping the gates of the conscious mind so that information can really get through. The way it works is this. This is a dark mirror, a black mirror that my friend Darcy got me for my birthday, and it's absolutely exquisite. But you see how this is, and to make a black mirror, you just take a piece of glass and paint it black on the other side. That's it, literally. You see this black mirror here, and you see nothing is reflecting in it. The black on the back side is really matte, and even though it is a reflective surface, it is black, and you don't see things reflected back to you unless they're very light. So the same thing happens with a crystal ball. The same thing would happen looking in deep water. And I'm going to ask you something. Have you ever had the experience where you're looking at like a screen? Sometimes it happens a lot with a screen or some kind of grid or something that has slats and shadows. And suddenly you find your eye focus going kind of wonky. And you have to sort of blink to get it back in. Things go 3D in an unordinary way. It's the best way I can put it. But you can feel your eyes are kind of wonky, and you have to sort of blink and twitch and bring them back to normal focus. And did you ever, back in like the 80s and 90s, the magic eye posters were a great big deal. And these were posters that looked kind of psychedelic, weird, random patterns and stuff. And there would be like a dot at the bottom of the page and these instructions where you have to put your nose against the page and, stare at that dot and pull it out. And what would happen is your eyes would do that funny focus thing, and suddenly a 3D image would pop out of that poster. And it's like, oh, look, the magic eye. Some people could do it, some people couldn't. It takes practice. Same thing is happening there as with the screen. What's happening is that, and I mean, this is my layman's interpretation of what's happening. I didn't go look it up to see physically exactly what's happening, but my interpretation is that your eyes are trying to focus on maybe multiple depths of field, or they can't quite find the spot to focus on depth of field wise. And so they do this funny focus thing. When you're looking at a regular mirror, say I'm standing 5 feet in front of the mirror, the image that I'm looking at is actually 5 feet behind the mirror, and that's what my eyes are focusing on. But when there's nothing reflected in the mirror, there's a reflective surface, but there's no solid depth of field for my eyes to grab onto, they do that funny focus thing as well. Same things happens with a crystal ball. And with a crystal ball, I mean, you can have a crystal ball that has like little flaws in it, or, one that's not clear crystal, and there can be all kinds of little images and things you can see in it. That's not what we're talking about, is seeing a shape and going, that reminds me of a. What we're talking about is looking into something that causes your eyes to do that thing, that causes your brain to like lose its grip on depth of field. And what that does is shift you into this theta state. That's the state of trance. And when you're in theta, your eyes do that thing. When you make your eyes do that thing, you go into theta. They share that state. So looking into these reflective surfaces, the point is to put your brain into an open, receptive trance state so that information can come in, so that images can come in and perceptions. Now, it helps if you've got some clairvoyant abilities here, but with the right set and setting, anybody can scry, and you can get information other than visual. When you put your brain in that state, information comes in the way that it comes in easiest for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be visual. But that's what scrying is, and it is this direct perception, and we do it at Samhain because the other side is so close to us, because the veil is so thin and the information is so easily accessible. Now, of course, if you're doing this in ritual, you are going to have your circle set up nice and tight. You're going to have your guides and guardians there. You're going to be in an absolutely safe place, so you can let your guard down and you can let your mind go into this trancey place for information. You can do scrying by yourself with a little mirror like this, or a crystal ball, a clear bowl of water with a black cloth underneath it. You can do group scrying at Samhain. Group scrying is awesome. I have done group scrying with like a whole dresser mirror on the floor, and we had black cloth hung on the ceiling. I had my big ass cast iron cauldron. I mean, this thing is big. It's like 70 pounds, with water in it and dry ice, with the smoke coming over and crossing the mirror. So things moving over the mirror that causes things to shift and change, and your focus to shift and change even more. Yeah, great stuff. You can, of course, you're going to have your fire of Azrael, because this is the incense for divination. So you're going to burn that and maybe have it wafting over the mirror. So there's, again, something else that kind of confuses your eyes into depth of field focus. You can have, so having a big mirror like that and having people sit around it, you can kind of do this group process where you start off and people are talking and feeding off of each other. I see this, I get an impression of this. Yes, I saw that too. And just, trance it out, man. Just really let it go. So I think that's all I have to say about scrying. Again, it's a great thing to do. Oh, it's a great thing to do when you're into the celebration part of the ritual. You're still in ritual space, and even before you really let down and celebrate and eat food in particular, it is perfectly okay to have a little bit of alcohol before you do scrying. It's going to help your conscious mind let go a little bit more. It's perfectly okay, of course, if you're in a legal state, to smoke some weed and do some scrying. Anything that's going to loosen your mind's grip on the mundane, on the everyday, on regular thoughts, on your conscious mind, verbal mind, anything that loosens that grip is going to be better for scrying. The water bowl scrying is a really good thing too. You can just set a clear bowl, and crystal is better. Crystal's always better because it's a conductant. Set a clear bowl of water on a black cloth. You're going to get the same kind of thing. You can have candles sitting around that reflect in the bowl or maybe through the bowl. I mean, play with it. This is a thing where you can really, really, really play. And even if it's not technically, this black hole depth of field thing, just the fact that it's magical looking and lit and that there's dancing smoke and flame and moving water can take your brain there as well. So, and I'm trying to remember what it was, but there have been many um, researchers that have done the Black Mirror experiments. There was somebody that set up a room, and the room was just this black box, and they had a mirror set up so you can't see yourself in the mirror. Again, if you can see yourself in the mirror, there's going to be a depth of field for your mind to hook onto. You don't want that. But have the mirror up on the wall and a black cloth hung behind you. So again, you've got kind of that bottomless well that you're looking into. And if you spend time in a room like that, like on a regular basis, half an hour a day or something, you're going to unlock some shit. I guarantee you. I seriously guarantee you. It just really untethers the conscious mind and lets things go floaty and freeform. If you're doing scrying on your own and you want to go really deep, you might have somebody there with you to be a recorder for things that you say and see. It is a practice that you will definitely get more out of if you're a regular meditator. If you are practiced at meditation, it's going to be easier for you to do scrying than if it's something you're, a mind state that you're really unaccustomed to. So there's another good excuse, a good reason for you to practice your meditation every day. I know, you also want to set up sound. I mean, you want to set up the sensual atmosphere for Samhain, first of all, but for magic and for scrying. So things that I find very helpful are recordings of ocean waves, recording with isochronic tones that don't need headphones. If you're scrying by yourself, by all means, pop on a binaural beat thing of theta and put the headphones on and just let her rip. It can be very, very interesting. You can also have a little recorder next to you so you can just catch everything that you're saying without having to worry about somebody writing it down. Shamanic drumming recording is also very conducive to trance state. Tibetan bowls, crystal bowls, singing bowls, things like that just, give you this sonic pool to swim in while you're scrying, all enhance the experience and make it easier to do. So I hope you got something out of that. I hope I remembered everything I wanted to tell you. I would like to ask you to click that donation button down below. I need your support. I really appreciate your support. And if you get something out of this, think about sending me a donation so I can continue doing this work. You can also send me a deck from my wish list, and I'll do a reading for you on my unboxing video for that deck. There's a lot of Samhain content this week, and I hope it has given you some good stuff to make your Samhain really magical, particularly this year. This could be the most important Samhain of our lifetimes. And I hope that you're planning a ritual. I hope that you've gotten some good ideas from some of the things that I've put up. Please stay safe and wear your mask. Watch my video on the full moon for Samhain to see what kind of energies are at work so that you can take advantage of those as well. Also think about joining my Discord down below and even my Patreon. I'd love to see you there. Thank you so much for showing up every day. I will keep showing up until you guys are absolutely sick of me and until Pyewacket is old and gray. Where is he? He's slipping down behind my back here, and I can't even tell which end is his head. There's his butt. He's so dark you can't see him. All right, I will see you tomorrow for another unboxing. Have an excellent rest of your day. Until I see ya, this is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.